Hey there everyone, Dr. Beth Westy here, women's health and hormone expert, and we're going to talk about sleep. We're going to talk about sleep patterns, and why, even if you're getting enough sleep, you can feel tired still. We're going to talk about some things that you can do about it, but before that I want to dive into understanding that just because your watch or the clock says that you slept for a certain amount of time doesn't mean that you actually got deep sleep. The other thing is that if you're wearing biometric devices, wearing a watch, wearing a ring, something that is tracking your heart rate, that does give you some feedback, but you also need to sort of take that with a grain of salt. Meaning, is it going to be perfectly accurate for you all the time? No, but it's a sort of a guesstimate to go off of. So I chat with women all the time where they're like, yeah, my watch says I slept for 7.5 hours. Why am I still exhausted? I get this much sleep every night. That doesn't mean that your brain waves actually go into that deep sleep. Oftentimes when we're talking about sleep and getting quality sleep, one of the best ways to understand how your system is really sleeping and resting is a sleep study, is doing a sleep study. That's why so many people are recommended like a CPAP machine or something for sleep apnea. And it's because there is something being compromised while you're sleeping. So without doing a sleep study or without understanding what that means, for you, if you're like, yeah, I can't get one scheduled, or, I'm not sure when I would get one done, what can I do in the meantime? Because I'm getting all this sleep, but I'm still exhausted. You need to do everything you can to manage your cortisol levels, meaning your circadian rhythms, they're tied to your cortisol levels. So cortisol is more active during the day and melatonin is more active at night to help you sleep and help your brain get into those deeper brain waves. But if your brain does not actually get to go into those deeper brain waves and do the thing that it's supposed to do, not only are you gonna feel tired the next day, I also want you to remember that your body's job while it's sleeping is to repair cells, to rejuvenate, regenerate things. So if you're not feeling rested, your body is also not regenerated properly. That means you're gonna physically feel tired, physically feel like, oh, there's something wrong. Yeah, there is, because your body didn't regenerate like it should have. Yes. So getting quality sleep is so important. Now, does this mean you always have to take something for sleep? Not necessarily. Melatonin or other sleep aids can be helpful for a period of time, but you never want to, I don't want to say get addicted, but have your body rely on that all the time. You want to make sure that your system can really do the sleep thing on its own. And to do the sleep thing on its own, you need to set yourself up for success. So a few tips here are to make sure that you are not having any screens at least an hour before bed. Now in this day and age and technology and things like that, that can be really difficult. But if your brain is too activated at night, it's not going to wind down and you're not going to sleep well. Red light at night is also very helpful. So no screens on, nothing like that in the house, and then don't even have overhead lights on. Make sure all the lights are turned off. So dim lighting only, candle light, using a salt lamp, or using red light in general at night. That way your brain understands, oh, it's time to wind down. It's time to just wind down a little bit. Yes. Music, playing soft, gentle music. Orchestra music, meditative style music. Again, this helps trigger your brain and to realize, oh, we're following a pattern. Just like with kids, if you've had kids, especially toddlers, and you're like, oh yeah, I gotta, get them to go to sleep at a certain time all the time. There's things that you do, right? You'll have a bath, you give them a bath, and then you have story time, and then you sit in a quiet room with them, rock. This is what I did with my kids. It would be bath time. We'd go in the room and I had this rocking chair that I would sit with them in, and we'd read 3 stories, and then they would go in their beds and I would rub their backs. I would put coconut oil with some lavender on there and rub their backs, give them nighttime rubs, and sing songs while we were doing that. My son, one year, every day for an entire year, he wanted to hear Frosty the Snowman. That was a rough year. But these are the things that it's routine, and it's not just for them mentally to know, but it's also physically for their body to understand it needs to wind down. So that helps them get to sleep and stay asleep better with that. The other thing that you can do besides just having a good nighttime routine is to make sure that you're getting enough sunlight outside during the day. Now, if you have a really busy schedule, if you travel a lot, if you work in areas, that you can't get outside, and you can't get sunlight during the day, use a sun lamp. use a lamp to give your eyeballs that light during the day. That way, again, it's telling your brain this is daytime, and then it can create its nighttime, right? Every living organism, right, in nature does that, right? That's how we go through seasons. That's how animals have a summer coat and a winter coat, right? Even some animals, they change the color of their coat because, it's summer or winter, like ermines. I went to the School of Environmental Studies in high school on the Minnesota Zoo grounds, so I'm all about animal behavior. But these things are so helpful to get your brain to understand this is awake time, this is sleep time, and it helps you stay in that pattern as much as you can. So that's what I got for you guys today. Please let me know if you have any other questions. Remember, you can always tune into my podcast, The Female Health Solution, or check out my books on Amazon, The Female Fat Solution, The Female Menopause Solution, as well as I do have my line of tinctures and using something like the Adrenal Balance. This is really, really helpful for your system to help wind down at night, especially if you've had a really stressful day. So let me know if you have any other questions in the comments, and I will see you guys later.